Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to continue on the thread that was started by Billy Crayoni, and it was his record of the week thread, and we are currently in the third week of January, and it's time for me to talk about another record. And as you can hear in the background, I'm going to talk about U2 and their album The Unforgettable Fire, which is my favorite U2 record. I love this album from U2. Had so many of my favorite songs from them, and every time I listen to it I get more and more moved. This is one of my favorite listens in my collection, without a doubt. One of my favorites. Record came out in '84, so I was like 14 at the time I think this album came out. And the song we're hearing in the background, obviously, is Pride in the Name of Love. That's such a popular U2 song. MTV, back when MTV showed music videos, they showed two versions of this video. There was the black and white director's concept video, and then there was another video that was just bits and pieces of clips of the documentary of the making of this album. And I remember the very beginning of the video started with them just following a long cord going from the outside of the studio all the way into the control room, and then you can see the band recording. That's how this video started. And that was my favorite version of this music video. This was my favorite song probably of '84. I was 14 years old. I wasn't even playing the drums yet. I was just a fan of music. And you know, the guitar, the voice, the chorus, everything really made an impact on me. But the drumming really made a big impression on me. Larry Mullen Jr. is one of many favorite drummers I have from the '80s, and his drumming on this entire album I think is fantastic. It's one of my favorite albums to listen to, not only for the music but for his drumming. The guy is such a great drummer. He proves it on A Sort of Homecoming, this song, Wire, Unforgettable Fire, Bad, Indian Summer Sky. He's a great drummer, and he's influenced me in a lot of different ways. So naturally this song, like I said, was my favorite song when I was 14. I loved it to death. Every time I was on the radio I'd crank it to death. I couldn't get enough of the song. And then I heard the song The Unforgettable Fire, because I remember it was one of my brother's favorite songs, my oldest brother, and I'd seen the video and I just for the longest time I didn't know it was U2, and until I actually bought the cassette back in '85. A year after the album's out, and realized, oh my God, that was U2. Unforgettable Fire is probably one of the best songs U2 has written, in my opinion. It's such a great tune. And then he started messing with keyboards a little bit more, so there's a lot of these keyboard loops going on throughout the song. So it's just more than just guitar, bass, drums, and vocals, and now they're incorporating more keyboards and more guitar overdubs, and it was a great production. And Unforgettable Fire is just one of those songs that leaves me speechless, because I think it's just a great tune. The song we're listening to now, that's playing, is called Wire. I'll put it a little louder. What I love about Wire is it reminds me of those classic early '80s U2 songs before they were like internationally famous. And this is before this is the album before the Joshua Tree, so they were still considered a little band at this point. They weren't the international pop monsters that they would later become. And so songs like this, like Wire, those are the reasons why I like early U2 songs. With that great chorus. Listen to that chorus. I always love that chorus. This is a fantastic song. I don't listen to much of the newer U2 CDs, so I'm kind of out of touch with U2 as of lately, as far as their newer albums. But God, I love songs like this from U2. I kind of miss them. I wish they would still write a bit like this, because to me, this is awesome. Listen to that. Listen to that guitar. It's killer. It's killer. It's a great song. So anyway, I mean, this whole side one of this record is just phenomenal and always leaves me speechless and very moved every time I listen to this album. I've had the tape forever, and then I joined the VC. This is one of the first records I grabbed now that I'm a vinyl collector, and sounds even better on wax. And it's just, it's great. Then we venture over to the side two, and the song "Bad." It's just great. It's fantastic. It starts with that great keyboard melody, and the drums kind of ease their way in. It gets louder as it goes. I think this song more or less only has one part or one chord, I guess you could say, and that's one thing U2 did. They just sort of stayed on a vibe. I mean, it wasn't a song with all these different changing parts. They would search for a sound more than a song, and that's what they did with "Bad." At least that's my take on it, at least. And it just starts real soft and just gets louder and louder and louder and builds to something really fantastic and emotional. And "Bad" is like "Bad" and "Unforgettable Fire," "Friday Night Lover" are some of my favorite songs on this album. It's just a killer album. And then "India," "Summer Sky." Much like this song, it has that nice, steady, driving rock rhythm that U2 is known for. Larry Mullen Jr. is just pounding the crap out of the drums. He's such a great power drummer. It's just unbelievable. If I know this is probably a pretty common record here in the VC, but this is just such a killer record, and it was before they became monsters, before they became huge, and everybody and their grandma knew who were fans of U2 when the Joshua Tree came out. But this is just before they were still a people's band, and before they became the world's band, I guess you could say. And that's what I really love about this album. It was just before they became like international pop stars. They were still a good, hard-working band at this point. God, that's all I can say about this album. It's just fantastic, and listen to that. I miss the 80s. I mean, yeah, the 80s was filled with a lot of cheese, but it was also filled with a lot of great songs like this. I listen to this, I get instantly inspired. It makes me want to write or get into a band that writes music of substance and emotion, and that's really what this album's jam-packed of: substance and emotion and dynamics. Unforgettable Fire is a fantastic record, and I'm sure a lot of you already have it, but for the very, very rare few that don't, pick this up. They printed millions of these, so you can find it used for very, very cheap, and you will really love what you'll hear. I mean, you'll do your ears a favor and your soul a favor with this album. Well, anyway, that is my record for the third week of January. Hope you guys enjoyed my little trip into the Unforgettable Fire, and I'll see you guys in the next video.